regarded journalist covering television business. You can follow her on Twitter at EW Lynette. Please welcome the West Coast News Editor for Entertainment Weekly, Lynette Rice.
Comic-Con sure knows how to do it right. They save the best for last. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the sexiest cast on television. Boy, he had to clean up a few messes this last season. He's the former chief, now he's just Unzer. Dayton, Callie. Man, my heart broke for him when he almost broke his neck hanging himself. Thank God he didn't die. I'm sure he thanks God too. The man who plays Juice, Theo, Rossi. The way he treated the porn star, but only because I want this gentle giant to find the love he deserves. Say hi to Opie, right? Not only does this man play a badass, but he sports a serious head of hair. He plays Bobby Mark Boone Jr. Full disclosure, I don't always pick up what this dude says because of that thick Scottish brogue. But seriously, who the hell cares? He's freaking hot. The man who plays Chips, Tommy Flanagan. My most favorite moment of last season was when Gemma took this man in her arms and said, "Baby, it's okay." I love it when a tough guy goes from getting all emotional in one scene and then plowing through a sidewalk cafe the next. Here's Tig, Kim Coates. Hands down, the best line of the season was delivered in the second to last episode when Tara looked at Gemma and said, "I'm smarter than you." The incredible Maggie Siff. Hands down, this lady's got the best job in television. She not only plays the kick-assiest woman on TV, she also gets to sleep with the boss. Here's Gemma Keys. Every time he lays a goddamn hand on our beloved Gemma. But he's the anti-hero we actually love to hate. You know him as Clay, the terrific Ron Perlman. I love the way this guy walks. And I also like it when he gets out of the shower. Unfortunately, he has his shirt on today. Here is Charlie Hunnam. Behind it all. Just don't piss him off or he'll call you the C word on Twitter. The genius Sutter.
All right, Just give me an hour to do this shit.
All right, Kurt, I want to start with you because obviously you showed some sneak peeks of the new season, and
Yes.
specifically, there's a little black part there, and there's some sweet bliss going on. Can you explain what we missed?
And the Comic-Con people have a rule in terms of how much graphic sex they can show. That scene that was blacked out was basically my wife getting fucked from behind by Jimmy Smits. With that little tease, I'd all show up for the premiere. That's all I got.
All right. Now, I was hoping we could start back at the finale. You know, as much as this show is obviously about this cool motorcycle gang, it seems like the finale really came down to the power struggle between two women. Is this a tease of what's to come in the new season?
I think so. I think, you know, the interesting thing I think about Tara and Gemma this season is it's really the push and pull of a mother-daughter relationship, you know. And it's this daughter who's trying to exercise her own control and become her own person within this family structure. And it's the mother that, you know, is threatened by that, who wants to be part of that, who's trying to insert herself in that. And it's this really sort of back and forth. So it's not a linear arc this season for them in terms of that struggle. It's really, it really changes from episode to episode, which, you know, being at home with a wife and a 16-year-old daughter, I'm kind of living it every day. And
sure, I don't think that's really true.
But so I think that's really the battle that's sort of going on between them this season.
Katey, can you talk about that dynamic? Does she really love Tara, or is she ultimately an obstacle?
Oh, no. I think, as Kurt was saying, there's not a linear thread in this season. So I think she loves Tara very, very much. And at the same time, she's threatened. She's threatened by her position. That she might be taking over Gemma's position. So it's like he said, you know, they love each other and then they're fighting and then they love each other again, which is a very familial dynamic, you know, and maybe that's what he's observing at home, but not quite to this extent, I would say. But yeah, that's what I think is really going on. There's not one, which is true, I think, for everybody this season, is there's really not one dynamic towards any one character going on.
Charlie, can you talk about the finale? You had so many great seasons from, you know, when you saw the bad guys are kind of the good guys and your encounter with Clay. I mean, what was the best moment you had doing that? Or was it just the whole damn thing?
In the finale?
Correct.
Well, you know, the great thing for all of us is that Kurt every year directs the finale, so we get to work with Kurt directly, which is really, really fun, and all of it seemed really, really satisfying. You know, we kind of charge through a season to the end, and you know, when we get there, we've created so many fascinating dynamics and interesting, you know, conflicts between people, and you know, we get to kind of bring them to the crescendo at the end. So I don't know if there was any particular thing. I mean, the scene with Ron was really fun, where I tell him that I'm taking over. But I guess, you know, actually, now that I'm talking about it, I think the moment when I sat down at the end and assumed the position of president, I think was actually the most fun. There was kind of a tangible excitement amongst the guys as you know, a feeling that we were moving into a new chapter of the show.
Don't get used to that chair.
I feel pretty comfortable in it, though.
Just saying.
Ron, can you talk a little bit about what we can expect from Clay? Is he going to be a castrated man? What's he going to be like?
Oh my goodness.
No, that's a whole different project. Which you can, in Hall G, they're showing scenes from Frankie Go Boone where he is literally a castrated. What was the question?
Actually, what can we expect of Clay this season?
You know, Clay only knows of one way, and that is to be on top. He takes a back seat to no one. He takes orders from no one. He lets no one else set the agenda. So we see him at the beginning of season 5, and every single thing that he's ever worked for in his life has been taken from him, except his life. And so he's wifeless, he's presidentless, he's lost the respect of his crew and his family. He's lost the trust of his crew and his family. He literally starts off with nothing, but has to wonder, why the fuck would you leave me alive? You gotta know I'm coming back. And because I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think what's amazing for me is that I'm getting to play the exact same human being in a completely different set of circumstances. It's so much fun what Kurt has given me to do this season. Where we're going, I'm not really sure, but I do know that it's going to be fraught with tension and wonderment as to whether it's even possible what Clay is dreaming for himself or redreaming for himself. Because he's a guy that just, unless I'm dead, I ain't stopping. Nothing, you know, you're not stopping me. So, there you have it, Mr. Teller. Don't get used to that chair, bro.
You're right. Ain't gonna happen, Clay. Ain't gonna happen, Clay. Ain't gonna happen.
You don't get used to your chairs either, motherfucker.
Yeah. Very cool. Anytime,
Maggie, Tara's just she's a paradox for me. I don't know, she had this incredible career, and now she's with the guy. I mean, he's a criminal. What is the continued attraction for him? Is it beyond the chest?
I could answer this. I think it's great abs and an 8-inch cock. That's good enough, right?
Charlie, here. Hello, read the...
Oh, sorry. Please be aware that many of the members of the audience may be under 18 years of age. Who gives a fuck?
Come on.
Anarchists.
Well, he is...
Not you.
He is lovely. In all ways. One of the nice things in the story is playing a love story that's as old as it is. They're high school sweethearts. So I just have always felt like there's something about that in the end trumps everything else. And you know, she can't walk away from it. And that's just the truth. And it's also where she comes from. So, and I you know, she's such an orphan character that in a way this is the only family she has, and it feels like it's almost the only family she's ever known. So, you know, there's this attachment to Jax and also to Gemma, I think, that it's family, you know, it's who she is, and it's really the only thing she has.
How invigorating was it to do that scene with Katey? It was like a mental cat fight. I mean, how was it? Just a great ball of fun?
In the finale?
Yes.
Yes, it is fun. I mean, one of the things that I'm realizing about the slide of Tara sort of towards darkness is that it's surprisingly easy. And I don't really know why. I've learned from the best. Yeah, and playing with Katey is always fun. When we love each other, it's fun, and when we're on opposite ends of the fence, it's really fun.
Now, Kim, can you talk about that swell scene when
No.
Was that you behind the wheel? Did you do the driving?
Sorry, say that again?
When you plowed over the folks?
What?
When you plowed over the two people.
Oh, I see. First of all, the only thing I worry about is my hair. How is my hair?
He's not even joking.
It's true, absolutely.
Okay, that's horrifying. Yeah, why does Tig always kill the wrong girl? It's very unfortunate, Kurt. But I did enjoy the driving scene, and that actually was me in that car. You know, I think this season, Tig's really off the leash. He really is off the leash. I mean, his loyalty to Clay is definitely questionable. He's ripped the Sergeant of Arms patch off my cut. I seem to be more early with figuring out Jax and his journey with Tommy and Boone. But he's totally wild card now. And the way Kurt has set it up for Tig this year, it's really, really intense. And it's been a great ride so far for me.
Tommy, you're the new Sergeant at Arms, so you're clearly not Team Clay, or are you? Are you going to go maybe back and forth a little bit? What?
Team Clay?
Team Clay.
Is there such a thing as Team Clay anyway?
See, I can't really understand you now.
One more thing?
See what I'm...
See, I don't understand you Americans, for God's sake. What's wrong with you people? Speak English, god dang it.
All right, you're the new Sergeant in Arms, so you're clearly not Team Clay, or are you? Will your loyalty stay with Jax?
You know, I've always been Team Clay. The backstory, Clay kind of saved me from whatever in Ireland. And Jax was a young kid when I came into the club. So I kind of see Jax as my boy, my son. And Clay has done so much shit that it's hard to stay Team Clay, though I do have some loyalties to him, but not a lot, mate. Not a lot. But I'm definitely on Jax's side, my friend. Sorry, Clay.
How can I do, Charlie?
All right, Ryan,
Is that it?
now...
Boone.
I'm going to Ryan. Okay. Can you tell... What is Opie's hard shell hide? Is he truly a...
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that. What?
What is Opie's hard... What is Opie's hard shell hide? Is he truly is he a big softie, this man? All the women want you to be that way. All the women just want you.
It is there. I think it's a little bit of both. You know, is that it's most especially by the end of last season, I think you start to see a lot of Piney showing through, you know, that sort of stoicness that's unshakable. But I think underneath it all, you know, still is this very strong desire to have a normal family, and, you know, and he struggles a lot against that. So I think he is a softie at heart, but, you know, the heart is getting ripped out and trampled on all the time. You know, I always sort of think of Opie as a bit like Job, which is just like these awful things keep fucking happening to him. And, but yeah.
Normal family, you marry a porn star?
Yeah.
Good point.
Now, Mark, can you talk about what Bobby's role is going to be now that Jax is the man? Are you,
I guess Bobby has always been kind of seemingly the level-headed member of this idiot band. I guess that is destined to continue, I guess, unless he somehow goes off the rails. Yeah, I've known Jackson, I mean, Bobby's known Jack since he was born, I think, you know, something along those lines. So he has, same as Chip sees him as his son. I see him as, yeah, Bobby is Jack's uncle. I've always, he's the club's, he's always standing in for what the club needs, I guess. And so that's still his job.
All right, Theo, you've got to talk about the scene when you hang yourself.
Pardon?
The scene where you hang yourself.
Theo, juice.
How did that go?
How did it go?
This week, I will pay you all later for that. you know, that scene was it was pretty cool. I mean, it was like, you know, 25 feet up in the air or whatever with the cable attached, and it was just this really beautiful moment for the character. I know that sounds strange, but it was just this beautiful moment for self-sacrifice because, you know, for his family and the family that he's, you know, he didn't want to disappoint. And I think when Clay gives him that Men of Mayhem patch and calls him son, it's that, you know, what he's longed for his whole life, which is a father and someone to just say they love him. And he knows at that moment that he can't exist in this world because it could hurt a lot of people. But being the original idiot he is, back to serving, you know, diaper juice and, you know, crying to dogs, he can't even do that right. So, you know, eventually. But, you know, it's just, it was great. It was very cool.
Now this is for Dayton. Why is Unser so freaking loyal to these people? Does it just come back to his intense love for Gemma? What is it about?
How's my hair? Good. Here, you see yourself there?
No, we can't see it.
I think he has.
You can't see that far.
No. It's terrible. These are terrible people. How's what did you ask? I didn't hear it.
Why is he loyal to these people?
Basically they're his family. He's seen them all come and go, and seen Gemma, you know, when she was a kid and leave, and they're kind of all he has, you know. His old lady left, whatever. So it's family in a strange way. I mean, as much as he loves the town, he's got all these people that he's worked with for over, you know, all these years. And I guess that's about it, just family. Sometimes, you know, you don't get all just good people and, you know, the right things in family. You know?
Just make sure you call before you come over, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I've been sitting in your chair in the house, too, you know. Just sitting in it, I get up and I leave.
I'll call before I come over.
That's right. Call before you come over.
Dayton, it seems like you more than anybody had a lot of the punchlines this last season. Was that by design? Is he just the guy that's there's a lot of great laughs in Dayton when Unser had a lot of great little passing jokes. Is he
That's
the guy you
because
go
he's high all the time. I mean,
there's a lot of I get a lot of humor out of Unser, and some of that is just because you learn who over the seasons you sort of learn what works and what's funny and what's not, and somehow when it comes out of Dayton's mouth, it's usually funny, even when it's not supposed to be.